Earlier today, I almost had a heart attack because I was worried about getting pulled over by a cop on the highway. And the reason I was worried about being pulled over wasn't because I was doing anything wrong. It was because I had some unusual circumstances in my car, and I knew the cop would be very interested to know why my car looked the way it did. And this is a problem I've had for many, many years, actually. Um, See, I live in the Seattle area, and in the 3 years that I've been driving here, I've gotten pulled over 5 times. I only gotten one ticket, and I actually got it dismissed anyway. And but every time I get pulled over, I get these rapid fire questions. Where were you going? Why are you going there? What are you doing there? Oh, see, the problem is um, usually when I do get pulled over, it's not on my commute to and from work. Those are so routine that I drive like a robot on those kinds of trips. It's usually to go somewhere where I'm lost. And then I end up getting lost, and I end up doing 25 miles an hour on the freeway just so I can look at signs and figure out where everything is. And now the cop's interested. Am I drunk or something? Why am I driving so slowly? Um, the problem is that my itinerary sometimes falls so out of range for society that it becomes very puzzling for people to understand. And that's why I really despise getting pulled over, even when I don't get any tickets. One time, let me explain the one time I did get the ticket. I actually had a car accident that time, and I was in between jobs, and I was just doing all the stuff I wanted to do that I didn't have time for when I was working. And I had gone to, I don't know if this will make sense to you if you don't understand geography. I live in Redmond, Washington, and I had gone to Bremerton, Washington, to just kind of sightsee and to um, potentially talk to people, potentially look for my future wife, if you will. And it's kind of out of character, right? You got somebody who's living in their car, and yet they seem to have the time and money to go sightsee. It makes for a difficult explanation, is what I'm trying to say, which is probably why the police officer in that case thought that something was wrong, and he actually thought I was doing drugs or something, and asked me quite. You see, I don't handle these rapid fire questions very well, and I start to get nervous, which is probably where the drugs come into to play. I just prefer not to get pulled over in the first place because I have so many weird things going on. And then earlier this week, I had gone to the beach and picked up some seaweed that I plan to eat. And they were in the back seat of my car, and I knew anybody who saw that would want to question what that was. And it just made for a very uncomfortable situation every time I saw a police officer on the road. Um, I'm no longer living in the car, but I haven't really unloaded everything from the car. I kind of live in a shaky situation where any moment I might have to move back into the car, so I didn't really think about unloading much of a lot of stuff from the car. It's always a tough sell of why somebody, especially if the officer kind of figures out where I'm working, or he looks at my car insurance and sees that I have very high liability limits, so he knows that I'm somewhat reasonably wealthy, and yet I'm explaining why I'm living in my car. It's just outside of the social norm, is what I'm trying to say. They're going to wonder what I'm hiding. Do I have assets from selling drugs or tax evasion or something like that? I totally understand that. Part of the reason I live in my car actually is because I'm kind of picky about my living situation, and sometimes I just can't really find the right situation. And yeah, I totally understand it's outside of the bounds. But on the positive side, it is making me drive a whole lot safer than I probably would if I didn't have to worry about this. It's kind of funny. I was just thinking about all the car accidents that I've ever had, and all of them involve me driving alone. When I'm doing any sort of carpooling or going on a date or something like that, uh, I tend to care more about other people than myself. It seems like. I also used to drive around with my brother. I never had any sort of fender bender when I was with him. Oh, there was another time where I drove much more carefully than I would normally would. I was also moving that time, and I had large fluorescent light bulbs in the car, and I didn't want to crash and break any of those bulbs because they contained mercury. Didn't want to get my car contaminated with mercury. What else did I do one time? I know there was another weird situation. Oh yeah, sometimes when I was faking an illness in order to do something, to get out of work, I didn't want to cause a car accident and then have to explain, why my car went missing after I got sick from work, or worse yet, end up in the hospital from a car accident and just leave a paper trail that I actually wasn't sick from work. Thanks for watching.